Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your time zone. I'm starting this all over again. This is a weekly time frame forecast for the new week. We are taking down this structure here. We are seeing an ABC structure developing, and so we're going to take that. And what we want to do now is to look for the downside, more to the downside. And at this point, we need at least to extend 100% to the downside and see if we are going to break 1618 to the downside. So what we are looking for now is, once we're taking this low, we need reactions to go much deeper to on the DXY for further downside. So going to the daily time frame, on the daily time frame, we need price to come towards this resistance here. You know, the support here be turning to a resistance now. This had been taken. This also had been taken. That's the first way to the downside. We can take this as an A wave, a B wave. It may be a 1-2, but for now, conservatively, we are looking at an A, B, and a C wave to the downside. Now, at this point, it's not economical for anyone to look for a pullback to sell. These are to come down here. We want to see our price. You should be in a sell from this point and from this level or from this level. Those are the levels you should be in a sell. And except you want to take a small risk, and you must take a calculated risk to look for pullback and to sell further from here. I'd rather wait for a much deeper correction to load in more gun before I go to the downside. So I'll be looking at what price is going to do. It's going to test this area as this wave is developing in itself. So you can see this engulfing candle. The base here would form a very good area, a pivotal area for me for price to come to look for a further sell on the daily. So now we have an A, B, and a C developing. And inside the C itself, I can see an A, B wave, and a further push to the downside. Probably if this one will test an extension of 100 before it begins to react to the upside, then I would take, much more, to the downside to look for a further sell on a DXY. Now, if we go to the euro dollar, on the weekly time frame, what do we see on the weekly time frame and the kind of price action? So this has become a bullish price action now. So we can see this move, this drop, and now the setup here on the weekly looks bullish. So we are seeing a bullish reaction. So if we go on the monthly time frame, the month of February, to see what price action we have. So we can see that the price action we are getting is still bullish. Now you will see that it hasn't taken the top of this structure here, this doji. This doji has to be broken. But on the DXY, the doji had been taken. So we have a proper break of structure. We're only looking for structure price to close above. So you can see that on the DXY, you can see a slight break to the downside, and we need this to further push to the downside to close. So we are following how it's developing and how the monthly structure will be taken eventually for a further downside. So we have a bearish scenario, and this is an A leg here, a B leg here. We are at least seeing a C leg conservatively on the much larger time frame to an 100 extension at least. If we get more past 127, 138, and 1618, a break of 1618 on the much larger time frame to the downside tells us that this is impulsive wave to the downside and not a correction anymore. But for now, we'll still take it as a correction and a likelihood of a zigzag to the downside on the larger time frame. Yeah, looking at this correction, a zigzag to the downside at least. Now, let's go back to the DXY. Euro dollar. The DXY is taking the lead, and so eventually this is not. I'm not looking for price to break low again now with what I've seen on the DXY. I'm not looking for price to break low. Ultimately, we're going to see a breakout of here, and a further push to the downside. To the upside. Now, let's go back to the weekly. On euro dollar, we are at the beginning of this move. This is going to be taken over time. For now, we are going to look for, if it breaks up further, we're going to look for a correction, probably a much deeper correction to come to this area on the weekly before we have a further push. In the immediate, if we go on the daily time frame, so I don't think that this move is done. You have to understand how wave develops. This had gone up as a first wave, and this had come to the downside as a second wave or a B wave. Now, within this C wave now, this is what we are following. You are going to take this as an A B, if it's not a 1, 2. So it can develop as a bigger 1, 2, a 1 and a 2, and that this might just be the C or the third wave here, which is also giving us a 1, 2, and a 3. Now, we may expect some reactions within this wave in itself, maybe at 100 extension of A, B, C 100. And once we go beyond this particular wave of a 1618 to the upside, tells you that this is the third wave developing. So gradually we are doing that. Gradually we are going. So you needed to have been, in a buy from here, in a buy from here, in a buy from this level. This is another area you need to be having in a buy, and another level, a buy here. So those are 4 levels you ought to have been in a buy. 1, 2, 3, probably 4 level now. So with what price is doing now, I would need price to push more down, because as it's approaching this top, it is not economical for anyone to be picking a buy at this level. Even if price breaks it, you will expect that price will break this structure. Some reactions will soon occur for price to give us a much deeper reaction. So we still need, this area of liquidity to be taken, from here, even if price goes up, to take this liquidity, grab the liquidity for the push. So this may be the C arm or the third arm. And after the completion of the wave here, if you're able to continue to count this wave, then you might be able to look for a deeper pullback. And when we see that reaction, you might want to look for a sell. So when that is going to happen, I might tell us. But for now, a further push to the upside, pullback, push to the upside, we should be looking for that reaction very soon. Maybe at 100 extension of this immediate wave, or a 1618, we should get that. By that time, this C wave may have completed its own structure. But for now, within this C wave, this is an A of C, a B of C. The last arm of this C wave is what we are looking at. On the 4-hour time frame, what can we see developing? Now, this is the low of it here. We go to it again. This is the low of it now. So we are seeing this, the first wave, the second wave, which is a B wave, and that this is a C wave going up, a C wave that may give us the third wave. And within here, you say this is an A, B, or a 1 or 2, but possibly a 1 or 2, and this going to break the top. Within here now, we can see a 1 and a 2. A 1 and a 2 here with this wave now, a 1 and a 2, and this is the third wave, and we need to see how this third wave is going to break the immediate trend here to signal the end of this particular third wave, to give the fourth wave, the fifth wave, and come back for a deep correction. So we are approaching at the break of this top, or anyhow, we are going to get that. So when this structure is broken, tells you that this wave is completed, because you have to see a structure taken on the 4 hour. This is 4 hour time frame, so we are going much practical now. So we will still need this structure to be taken. For now, this is regarded as a pullback for further upside. That is what I can see, a pullback for further upside. Not until this structure is taken. Once you take this structure, then you can say that a 1, a 2, the third wave is gone, and probably we are seeing a fourth wave, and for us to go further upside. So we need to see the formation of the fourth wave of this wave and give us the fifth wave for that ABC correction for a deeper pullback. Then we can load in again. So you don't want to load in more at this level when you are about breaking this top here. Now let's go to New Zealand dollar. I'm taking too much time now. New Zealand dollar on the weekly time frame. So New Zealand dollar recently completed its move by taking the low here. So this is just its move now. So the move is starting here, and so that is what we are seeing on the New Zealand dollar. So this is the last low, you know, according to what we are seeing here on the New Zealand dollar. The same thing would appear on Australian dollar as a Kiwi dollar. So we are seeing the first push here. This will be the wave 2, and we are seeing probably a wave 3 or a wave C developing to the upside. So we are just broken the structure now. So this also on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, so we are seeing that this is the fourth wave here, the third wave of the move from the top, the third wave, the fourth wave, and the fifth wave. So this is an A wave or wave 1, a wave 2, or a wave B, and this is engulfing, going to just upside breaking this. So we need to see how this one is going to push towards A, B, C 100 extension, and see at what point we are going to get a reaction for a further downside. So we need this also to come to the downside. And if it's going to come to the downside, if it's like I said, an A, B, and a C, within this C wave, we need price to also come to this area where you had this broken this resistance here. Price will retest around this area without breaking this low. So between here at the break of this bearish candle and around this area, price will come and test this area for a further push to the upside. So if you are in a buy, just keep your buy, but know that at some point price is going to push further and react, because we are broken this top now. We want to see when price will give us a much deeper pullback. If you are going to take a buy here, it's going to be a small buy, because you are counting the internal wave of this structure go to the upside as a 1 and a 2 here, probably a 1, a 2 here, and this might be just the third wave. We are going to look at when it's going to give you the fourth wave the fifth wave, then do a big push or a deeper correction to the downside around this area, then they're going to load in more for a further push to the upside. On the 4-hour time frame, so it's becoming clearer that a wave or wave 1, a B wave or a wave 2. So you can see the way these are giving us a clear WXY here to the downside here. So we are seeing a wave 1, a wave 2. So this is the third wave or a C wave within this handwidth now. 1, 2. So we are going to continue to see how this one is going to give us the fourth wave, breaking structure to the downside. For now, we see this as a pullback, a further move to the upside. You don't want to load in a bigger, a much bigger move now. So I think if you know what you are doing, we need to see something very close to this correction here around this area. So we can see within this wave itself, the first push to the upside, which is super bullish, and a correction. So we need to see at least half of this correction. Maybe if it's not up to this one or this one alone, it might be not be up to this one, probably something close here. So when we see that kind of a correction, that's the fourth wave, then we can say we are very close to the end of this arm. Then we see the fifth wave, and at that fifth wave, you can now look for a sell. The sell should come very close to this area without breaking this low. And that will be an ABC of this arm for a further push to the upside. I think I've revealed too much here yet already. So let's look at pound dollar, and let's see what pound dollar had given us. So I'm confirming to you that now we have changed the trend. The trend is changing, has changed, and we are going to the upside. To go much down now and break the low, that would be an odd for me, maybe about 20% if that is going to happen. But of course, we look at alternative, but the alternative we have here is more bullish than bearish. Now, pound dollar. Now, pound dollar also is bullish on the weekly time frame. So this is a bullish move. We can see an A wave, a B wave, and probably a C wave going to the upside. We need to take this, of course, to confirm that we are back to the upside. At some point, probably before we break this point here, we may have finished this third arm to the upside or a C wave to the upside. And what it's going to give us at 1618 or at 100 reactions, we're going to see that and probably have a much more pullback to the upside than to the downside. On the daily time frame on pound dollar, so we are bullish now. So on the pound dollar, what we are seeing here is the first move here. This is a B wave, but this B wave would have just given us a B wave or a wave 2 here. Looks more like a running flat. We may have an A, B, C here, a running flat. That is what I can see, a running flat. If it's a running flat, this is the last low here now for price. If it's a running flat, the way it's low, this is the last low and not this one. So we may be seeing this as, the C leg. And of course, it may also mean that this is like an A, B, C to the upside. So, but it looks more like a running flat here, an A, B, C. And this is the last low. Cautiously, you may just still put your stop loss around this area for this to evolve properly to develop this C wave. Of course, what is going to guide you, the power of using your delete or 4-hour trend line from this low up here to see as this one is going to give more wave. So we expect a pullback and a further. If you are going to buy from this level, Yeah, this may just be nothing but a pullback right now. So at this point, this is a 4-hour time frame and how to practically engage this. Like I said, I've seen this as an ABC of a running flat to the upside. So if it's a running flat, this is the last low for here for now until we see the end of this immediate wave. Now, looking at this immediate wave, counting this immediate wave, this looks like a 1 and a 2 here. And yeah, this, of course, had given more than 1618 to the upside. So we need to take this low. Otherwise, this may just be at the end of third wave here. If you take your fib and retracement tool or extension tools from this low to this point would have given us more than 1618. But for me to believe that we are coming to the downside to correct deep, then we need to take this structure here, not at this point. So I still believe that we may not take this. If we bounce up from here, if you watch the way and manner this one is going to correct, and if it gives you an ABC correction to this level, slightly breaking it or at about this level, you may take a buy again to the upside. And when you do that to the upside, you are going to be guiding whatever is going up from this level, because that might just be the last, and it may just turn to break and give a further bigger correction to the downside around this area for a further push to the upside. So we are watching this. We need to break the trend line first for us to know that this is completed. What is the trend line I'm talking about? This is the trend line here. We need to take this trend line here to know that this wave is completed. So here, 1 and 2, this is done more than 3 already. So, but is it ready to push and give us a beta correction? We need to take this low. And that's what I'm talking about. So we must know how to use the trend line to guide our move. But for now, what I can see is a correction, a further or a pullback, and a further move to the upside. If I want to buy from here, I need to price to come to this area to test before I buy more. And if I'm buying from here, like I said, I'm repeating myself for you to know how wave and broccoli develops. Then look for a further push, probably the 5th wave. And once I see reaction there, I will close shallow buy, retaining my buys from this level, close the shallow buy, wait for correction and see if I can sell that correction, which is going to be much deeper. I need structure to tell me it's going to be a much deeper correction before I, sell it, and as well look for a low to buy to the upside. So we are bullish. Ultimately, we are waiting for what price is going to give us. And now we are going to dollar yen. We need to be careful on dollar yen. Dollar yen, it's very, very, very dicey. What dollar yen is giving us is very dicey, because this ultimately could go and still take the top. We had seen this as probably an A wave in this correction, because this also could finish up the correction to the downside here. And I'm not encouraged to see what price is doing here. This may have finished up the correction and we may be going up to take the top. So what is happening here is very dicey, because this may have given us the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside here, and this may just be an A, B, C wave and a further push to the upside. So we need to be very careful for what is developing here. So this may just be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete this. This may be an A, B, a C wave for a further upside. And if it's going to give us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 1, 2, 3, sorry, if it's going to give us this scenario of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it means that this is the last wave, because clearly there's a falling wedge here, and that this is going to be the first wave. If that is what is going to give, then this going up will be an A, B, probably a C for a further fall. So we need to be careful here. It is not where I want to put much. I need a confirmation, so which we are not getting. So we need to take the low of here to confirm that we are coming to the downside. So this is where once we break this low, then I can now see that a possibility of an A, B, C wave is possible. This low had to be broken. Otherwise, I'm seeing more than 2-3 scenario in this case of yen dollar. It's been, very, very an hectic journey on. I think it's more of the yen, the Bank of Japanese, they are playing on our intelligence, on our mood, but of course, we have to look at structures and what is possible. So you might want to stay off Japanese yen until something else up, or you pick it at those peak level where you know something is going to change and you're not going to risk too much. So what are the scenario again? This may be number one scenario. This may have finished up the entire correction to the downside, and that what we are seeing is that we're going to break the top. That's the first scenario. That's number one scenario. So if that is the scenario, this may have finished up, and this may be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if that is completed as a 5, we are looking at an A, B, C for a further push. That's the first scenario. What is the second scenario? The second scenario is that these are not finished, and this is an A wave, and this is a B wave. In this being a B wave, so we are looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to have finished this as a B wave, that's the second scenario. And that this is coming down here as a 1. Probably we're going to see a B wave for a further move to the downside. It's until we break this low that we can say that a bearish flow is confirmed. We need to break this low at 148,600 before we confirm a bearish flow. Otherwise, it will just be an A, B, C for a further push to the upside. But for now, with this clear rejection here, it's looking like as if it's bearish. But if it's bearish, I would rather want it to break this low, and that will confirm that we're in a bearish flow. And so for now, if you go to the daily time frame on this dollar yen, the way this one went up, it went up rather, like an impulse. And it's a 5 clear wave impulse. But again, the way it came down is confusing as well. Is equally confusing. So you are at a level, if you regard this as an A and a B, probably we're going to have a C wave, and that C wave would decide if you're going to take the top, if it's going to be a 1, 2, or a further 4, then we need to see. So it's at this level, you must see a 4-hour reaction to the upside here and pick your buy, and know that this is what you want to risk, this low, and for price to give you at least an A, B, C to the upside. And if it breaks 1618, then it's going to break the top, and we'll see what is going to happen from there. So that's the daily time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame here, and if you are going to trade this, you're going to trade this with caution, with, we're already seeing this, and this may, this does not look, we expect it to be a correction, doesn't look like a correction. We had an A, B, C wave, and this C wave went past 161A, and that is what makes it look like an impulse. But to see this reaction in this way and manner, it came down without giving an a proper ABC, of course, they could do this to correct. They could do this to correct and begin to push up to break the top. So it's a funny looking correction, which looks impulsive. But for now, we are on the side of caution. So this is the low for now for me. This area of a B wave is the low for now for me. if you are a good student. But 151,500 shouldn't be taken. A break below that tells me we are going to break the low again. So, but if this begins to crawl up and break this top, well, that will sell it as if I'm selling a C wave, and what wait until something gives around this area. So that's how to, navigate. Let's go to gold. Gold on the weekly time frame, and that will be the last one. Gold on the weekly time frame. I've been telling you, you have to be very careful. These are not levels that you want to continue to buy. But I think we may be coming down to the downside to correct. Now, I'm not going to tell too much story here. We have been saying that after this correction, gold has been going up, and probably a 2 scenario, and we may have finished the third wave here and this correction. So we are within this. So forget what has been happening here. Whatever is going to happen here again, if you're going to correct this entire run, forget about whatever is happening here. So take it piecemeal. So where we need to decide what is playing is around this area. We need to understand this. Focus on this. Don't focus on what has happened from here. Just focus on this immediate move. So let's now, let me zoom in. We are focusing here. So focusing here now, we had seen this as just a simple correction that didn't give us a double correction. So, but for now, this has gone impulsive. So we see this as a one. It's not an ABC wave. Because I think this had gone beyond 1618 extension. Let me see from a new broker that I can use to teach us. And let me pick this broker. Okay, so I want to make a drawing. Okay, I want to make a drawing. I want to make a drawing. Don't want you to. So the drawing now. So let me take this out. Okay, so we are looking at this immediate move. That starts from there. So to this red is the last. So this is like a 1. This is like a 2 on the red. So 1 is completed here. A 2 on the red is completed here. So what do we have here? So we want to see where a 161.8 is. The 161.8 is here in the blue. That is the point I'm trying to make. So it had taken 161.8, it had broken it. So which tells you this is not an ABC. It is not ABC, it is an impulse. A 1, 2, 3. So that is what I want to confirm. So we now know that that is a 1, 2, 3 scenario. But is this third wave is completed? It may look as if this third wave is completed and you don't want to buy from here with this reaction here on the weekly time frame. And that is what I want us to see. Clearly, I want to help those lover of gold, those that loves to trade gold. I had stayed off gold for me to look for a move that I want. So for now, I'm looking to sell gold. So I think with 3 is completed, we have done a 1, 2, with 3 is completed, we are about doing the 4th wave. And so in doing our 4th wave, this is what we should look at now. The possibility, okay, let me still go back to that broker and tell you what I expect. This is the broker. This is what I expect. Now, I expect that we are taking the top here, and this is the top. Okay, that is the top for now, and that's 1, 2, 3. So I'm expecting a 4th wave. So from here, I expect my 4th wave. That my 4th wave should not break this low. So it shouldn't break that low. I expect my 4th wave around here. I want to sell to that level. That's the level I want to sell to. I want to set to that level without breaking this area. So we are looking at selling towards 28.11. Yeah, 28.11 or 28.13 area without breaking 27.64. That's what I can see here. That's what I can see here. But I see a sell. So let's now go back there. So that's ultimately where we are going. I'm trying to break it down for you. Let me go back to my broker. So I see a sell in this move now is a sell that I see, a correction. If we go to the daily time frame, it will be much clearer. Now, on the daily time frame now, we are seeing it much more closely that this is the first impulse here, A, B, C of the 2nd wave. The 3rd wave is completed. And within this 3rd wave, I see this as 3, 4, and 5 that didn't take the top. And this is an impulse. So to the downside is bullish and is bearish now. So if I were you, if I want to trade this to the downside, I will wait for price to retest this area of a support that will flip into resistance. This zone here is where I will be looking for price to come to. This zone here, of course, I'm going to look the way at the manner. So this will guide me. This area will guide me as a good resistance. This zone here, from this level to this level is where you can roughly expect price to come to. But this is a much desired level on the daily time frame. Now, if we flip to the 4-hour time frame, which is good for us, let me show you what I've drawn here. I want you to now, so you can see a 1, 2, and that this is 3, 4, and a 5, and this is with 3 completed. We want to come to this area ultimately without breaking this area for a further push to the upside. This is going to be taken as a 4th wave. It's going to be taken. So you don't want to wait, and we might see a reaction almost immediately. But once you get a reaction, this is the area we are targeting. On the 4-hour time frame, let's see that area on the 4-hour time frame. I need to show you that. On the 4-hour time frame, like I said, this is the area we are targeting. But again, looking at this engulfing candle, price may, if price retest close to this area, good, but this will be my stop loss. I don't expect price to break this area anymore at this level of 2928. So you are going to watch, and if you are, this will be an area for you to first look for your sell, for that sell. And if price does extra and come to this area, I will put in another thing, another sell from this area, and that will be a gain for me to come to this area. And this is the area I'm going to look for a push to the upside. That is what I'm talking about. So on this bearish candle, on the daily time frame, we are seeing a resistance here in this zone. Price working to this zone, it's a small area. I'm going to put a small sell. And if we get price coming to this area, I'm going to put in more, but this is my stop loss, really, for if you're looking for stop loss. We need to see if this is going to come to the downside, test this area and give us a reaction to correct to the upside. We need to see that. On the 1 hour time frame, are we seeing that yet? I don't think so. On the 1 hour time frame, yeah. On the 1 hour time frame, this will be ready once this is taken. Look for that purple line to be broken. So at the break of this purple line, I'm not going to buy. It's too short. I want this purple line to be broken. This is still going up for now, down for now. It's still coming down. Probably it will test around this area, react around this area before it goes up. This is quite impulsive to the downside, but of course you may have missed it. Always wait. Relax your mind. Relax your mind. When you see this, relax your mind and see what the higher time frame is telling you. So what do you need to do? You need to see these taken out. The first indication that they are burnt out is once this trend line is broken. So we need to see this trend line broken out. And so once you see that, you are warming up for the first zone is here, and this area is the next zone because the liquidity, this had gone down here. So this liquidity had been grabbed here. So if you had missed this, you had missed it, because you can see this doji. Yeah. So this will be an ultimate area or a hard area for price to come to, but this will be a good bet for you. If you pick a small sell from here, wait if price is going to come here. But again, the way and manner of correction that is going up will tell you the extent that price will travel to here, or just get itself limited here and begin to fall again. So we need to first break this area. We need to break this. We need to break this. Those are the two areas you need to break that tells you the price is ready to correct to the upside. I think I've given you too much here, and I think I've given you enough here for you to be profitable on gold. If you want to trade gold, so if you pick a sell, we are coming down to this area to pick a buy for us to probably case this area or test around 3,000. And after that, that will be the fifth wave, and before a much more bigger correction to the downside. With that, I've come to the end of today's update. Have a profitable week. Bye. Do like, share this video if you like what I'm doing here. It encourages me to do more. Bye.